I love to just create such an amazing, magical experience for my clients that they can't help but talk about it.
Hey there, welcome to the Super Bloom Coach podcast, the show for life coaches ready to 10x their business and bloom into undisputed thought leadership status. I'm Moriah, Riona, an award-winning brand designer and certified life coach. I've spent over a decade helping incredible female entrepreneurs like you build luxurious, high-end brands that stand out and attract their dream clients. Each week, I share the latest branding strategies, business growth tips, and personal insights to help you elevate your coaching business and thrive. Whether you're just starting out or looking to scale to new heights, this podcast is your roadmap to becoming a luxury thought leader in your niche. Get ready to learn, grow, and make an impact with the Super Bloom Coach podcast. Let's go.
Hello, Coach. Thank you for tuning in. I'm so excited about today's episode. This is episode number 5 of the Super Bloom Coach podcast. If you have been following me for a while, you know that I have a YouTube channel. I've had it for a long time, and you might even be watching this podcast episode on the YouTube channel. Now, traditionally, my YouTube videos were short and sweet, to the point, very like step-by-step, very how-to. And I have intentionally made these podcast episodes just much more laid back, much more conversational. I want to kind of like dive into the crevices that I didn't previously get to explore because it was so like boom, 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 bulleted list, right? Typically, that's how this is going to be. However, today I am sharing 10 places that you can find your next coaching client or your first coaching client. This is going to go fast. Grab a piece of paper and a pen if you want to take notes. We will also leave the blog post that summarizes this whole episode. We'll leave the link to that in the show notes. Plenty of opportunities to like revisit this and make your own checklist. And you go through and do all 10 of these steps, you will definitely be having some clients coming your way very soon. Place number 1. I recommend connecting with your friends and family when you start your life coaching business or if things are slow. I don't actually recommend working with family as a coach, and it would kind of depend on the relationship that you have with the friend. My coach, Brooke, when I got coached on becoming a life coach, one thing that she always talks about is getting in the pool with your client. What that means is basically imagine your client is drowning in their problems and you get right in there with them and start drowning too. And this is what happens when we have a close emotional connection with someone, especially, like I think it'd be really hard for a mom to coach their kid. If you're really close to your siblings or your parents or an aunt and uncle, you kind of want to rally around them and be their friend. I think it would be really hard to sort of hold the space necessary to be an effective coach. We don't want to coach anybody that we're gonna get in the pool with. However, I think especially when you're starting out, reaching out to friends and family is a great place to start in terms of saying, hey, I am starting this new coaching business, or things are a little slow. You could recommend someone who you really think could benefit from my services. So you have that connection, but it's not somebody that you would, get in the pool with. I highly recommend starting with friends and family. I actually work with a lot of friends, but most of them were clients first and then become my friends in my luxury branding coaching and design program. Or, if they're friends, it's a friend that I have the sort of relationship with that I know that we can have that professional relationship as well. Number 2 is on social media. Let's talk about that for a second. Social media in and of itself is not a marketing strategy. And I think a lot of new coaches, especially, they go get certified and they think 2 things. I need to set up a website and I need to get on social media. Social media and website, both very helpful for building a business, but you have to know how to use them. Those 2 things alone will not bring you business. You have to have a whole strategy in place, which is really what we work with our clients on in our luxury brand leader program. Is not only, people come to me and they're like, oh, I want a beautiful website. Yes, we will design you a beautiful website, but we need to have the strategy in place that actually brings people to that website. Because if it's just out there in the interwebs and nobody knows about it, you're not going to book any clients. So same thing with social media. This is what I say when it comes to social media. If you're new to social media or new to using social media for business, start with one platform. Don't overwhelm yourself. I see so many people just like dive into the deep end, get on all the platforms they can find, and then they're just like, they can't keep up. They don't really know how to use any of the platforms correctly. They go really strong for like a week or a month or whatever, and then nothing. So we don't want to be like that. We want to, whatever our social media strategy is, we want to have a lot of consistency. We want to show up regularly. So my biggest piece of advice, and I actually teach this in my very first online course that I made years ago, Brilliant Social Brand, pick one platform that A, you feel comfortable with, and B, you know your ideal client is on. If you are great on Instagram, but that is not the place that any of your ideal clients are hanging out, it's not the place for you to be promoting your business. It's a waste of your time. Figure out your ideal client avatar, figure out where that person is hanging out on social media, make that where you want to be. I would get really confident in that one platform. Make sure you show up consistently, you understand how it works, you understand the language people use and how they show up and how to get traction. Just get really comfortable, get really good at a platform before you start a second one. But if you can do that and you do it consistently, it's a great place for you to start finding new clients. All right, place number three, in-person networking. Now, this has been huge for my business. It's really funny because I talk about this all the time on my YouTube channel. I'm an introvert. I'm shy. People are always shocked because I have all this content where I'm talking to people. I am much more of an introvert, and it's hard for me to go out there and network. However, I have found when I make those personal connections and don't just hide behind my computer screen, don't just hide behind my phone on the scroll, actually connect with people in real life, that's where you make those really deep, lasting impressions. You make those deep connections and people like have like a real connection with you. If it's like the right person, that's where I found a lot of my clients. Highly recommend in-person networking events. If you don't know anything, I would literally go on meetup.com and just look for keywords of like anybody that's like your sort of niche, you know, like women's networking or group for singles or something like that. Get a little uncomfortable, show up and start making friends in the real world, because that really helps you build your real network. My fourth place to find clients is through speaking. And oh my goodness, talk about getting uncomfortable. I'm someone who is so bashful about just meeting people in person typically and going to these networking events. So the thought of speaking was always kind of crazy to me, but I truly embraced it. What happened was I started years ago going to in-person networking events for business and stuff, and I am a business coach. I am a branding expert, a brand designer. I would go to these meetings a few times and get to know some of the founders, some of the organizers, and I would just be like, hey, you know what? I am a business coach. I am a luxury brand designer. I would be more than happy to teach a class on luxury branding or how to build your website. And they were so excited to have me. I did this for free. I did it for like very little pay. When I was starting my business, it didn't matter that I didn't get paid for that because I got such a great return just literally like booking out with clients from these speaking events. I think there's this mentality of, I mean, you can see this yourself. Just look at the people that you look up to. When you go up in front of a room and you present on your area of expertise, you're just instantly seen as the expert. You just have this elevated status. So me being up there talking about branding, talking about website design, talking about luxury branding, I just very quickly in these circles, because I was the speaker, the guest expert, very quickly became known as the expert. One lady would hire me, and then, you know, multiple other ladies would hire me because they'd start talking about me. Like they would start talking about me and they'd be like, oh yeah, she's the one that spoke. And so that's really kind of how my business took off at first, was doing these speaking and engagements. The fifth place that I would recommend looking for new clients is online communities and forums. So I have talked about how important it is to be in person, to be doing these in-person events, whether that is in-person networking, speaking engagements, stuff like that. But let's be honest, you can't do that all of the time. I think having a healthy balance of in-person and online is really the way to go. One of the very best places to connect with people that have similar interests, similar needs to your ideal client or your ideal audience are Facebook groups. What I want to say about that is we want to be really respectful of the owner of the Facebook group and the community. You don't want to go in there and just start pitching yourself. It really feels kind of sleazy, and you're really taking over and taking focus away from the owner. I have gotten clients from Facebook groups before, and the way that I do this is I have a ton of content marketing for my business. I have a blog that I have updated weekly for years. I have a weekly YouTube videos. Now I have this podcast. All of my content is geared around answering the questions and helping out my ideal client, things around marketing and branding and luxury branding and website design, all these questions they might have, things they might be wondering. I have pieces of content to help answer that. And so one way that I have actually gotten clients from Facebook groups is not by promoting myself outright. I see people who are possibly ideal clients asking questions that I have already answered. And I'll just be like, hey, I have a podcast episode on that. Or, hey, I have a YouTube video. I think this will answer your questions. And I just drop the link and I don't pitch to them. If it helps them, it helps them. That's great. I'm not trying to turn somebody into a client. But what happens is they'll see it, maybe some other people will see it. And I only do this in places where that is allowed to share that. But I've definitely gotten clients that way. I have also gotten clients in Facebook groups that I'm not in because the exact same thing happens. Somebody asks a question, and then another Facebook member whom I don't even know is like, hey, this lady has this video all about this. And they post a video in one of my YouTube videos in a Facebook group. I had 2 clients come off of this one video post that I didn't even know the original poster. So that's pretty crazy. So just by being helpful and helping people that are already like kind of in the niche that you're looking to work with, your ideal audience, your ideal clients, you can just be super helpful. It comes back to you. I truly believe that. I love this idea of give, and it will come back to you. Just be as helpful as you can, and really don't try to be converting people. Just try to build community and help people out, and it really does come back to you. So I think that's awesome.
Hey, Super Bloom coaches, let's take a quick break. This episode is sponsored by my exclusive Luxury Brand Leader program. If you're serious about elevating your coaching business, then you have to check this out. Luxury Brand Leader is your chance to work with me one-on-one to totally transform your brand and realign your business for exponential growth. This is the only logo and website design program designed exclusively for coaches that builds your luxury brand and sets you up as the go-to leader you were born to be. Imagine a complete 360-degree luxury brand transformation done in just 90 days. You'll get personalized coaching, cutting-edge strategies, and the exact steps you need to become an unstoppable force in your industry. When you become a luxury brand leader, you can finally start to attract clients who daydream about working with you, and they're willing to pay the big bucks to make it happen. Imagine being able to unapologetically raise your rates, magnetize high-paying clients, create a captivating personal brand, and showcase your high-value expertise. Are you ready for a branding experience that will revolutionize how you show up in your business? Apply to become a luxury brand leader today at MoriahRiona.com. Remember, spots are limited and they fill up fast. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity to transform your business. Apply now.
So number 6, the next place I would recommend to help you find new clients is through podcasts. I have actually gotten clients because I have been a guest expert on other people's podcasts. I have been invited to speak on other podcasts before because they want their audience to know about websites or luxury branding. And so they've invited me to come on as what we call a guest expert. Again, it's just like the other content that I create. It's just now it's for somebody else's audience, just like a YouTube video that I might make or a blog post or one of these podcasts, except I am being presented as a guest expert to this other person's audience, which is really helpful because it's like they're almost vouching for you. They're like, hey, here's this expert that I'm bringing in to talk about this thing. So that has been really awesome. Just quick note, we are not looking for guest experts on this podcast at this time. I already have my roster of guests full. If you are looking, a lot of podcasts I've even been on podcasts because they put calls out. They're looking for guest experts. And so I will respond to that call. Or if it's a podcast that I really love, some of them have like applications where you can apply to be a guest on the podcast. So I would just start looking for that. It's been really helpful for my business. Okay, number 7. So along the same lines, it goes back to content marketing. This has been so huge for my business, having this vast library now at this point of YouTube videos, blog posts, now this podcast. I have social media posts, all these Pinterest pins going back for years. So I really have this very robust, very vast online library of content where I am an expert talking about my area of expertise, which is luxury branding for life coaches. And so it's all of the like sort of nuances within that I talk about too. Like I was saying, like building your website, content marketing, this thing that I'm talking about right here, how to get clients, all of that, having just a ton of content has really helped me get clients. It's been kind of amazing to me because my program, Luxury Brand Leader, it's a 5-figure program. Like it's not cheap, it's high ticket. And what's crazy to me is a lot of my clients I know through other people, right? So we sort of have that word of mouth connection. However, I will get clients that I've never met before. They get on a call with me, they're ready to book. And like, it really kind of blows my mind. But the thing is, they'll always tell me, oh, I spent the last 2 days binge watching your YouTube channel. I don't know this person, right? They're a stranger to me. But by the time they get on a call with me, they think we're BFFs. They know me very well. They know about my life. I've been on calls before and they're like, oh yeah, because you have a baby too, don't you? And I'm like, oh my God, yeah, I don't even remember what video I talked about that in. That's really amazing to me. Now, obviously, this is not something that happens overnight. This is something I have been working on for years, and it really is a long game, but oh my goodness, it has been so valuable in my career. Even if you don't get immediate clients from building your content marketing strategy, I highly recommend starting now. You should have started yesterday. Just start creating content as an expert in your space. It really will start building this online tribe, this online community, and a lot of trust around your brand and you as the expert. And really, this is what we teach our clients in the Luxury Brand Leader program. I've talked about this before, but the program is really about bringing 2 pieces together. We want to create your luxury brand, but also position you as the thought leader in your space. And the way we do that is helping you with your messaging. And then from there, creating a really robust content marketing strategy that really sets you on a pedestal and says, hey, she is the expert on this subject. It's not like you're going to write one blog post and get a bunch of clients. If you do, amazing. That's great. You'll have to share the blog post with me because that's incredible. What it will do is it's something that grows over time and just builds and builds and builds. And it really feels like after you do it for a while, it just really takes off. Get started right away. Number 8, the 8th place to find new clients is through SEO. SEO stands for search engine optimization. This is where you optimize your website to get search engines to recognize your website as the best result for certain keywords. So a few years ago, I did a blog post and YouTube video on luxury branding. And I had never really, I guess, niched myself as a luxury branding expert, but I did build more like luxury brands. And so I did this video and blog post. And what happened was about 18 months later, because it was evergreen content, it took a while to take off. I started getting all of these hits to my website on this luxury branding blog post that had my luxury branding YouTube video in it. Like within weeks, I noticed that I was the second result on Google for luxury branding, which is crazy. And I'm not anymore. Like that was, I was there for about a year, and then other people have blown past me. And so people would like look up luxury branding and it would bring them to my website. So what you really want to do is you don't want to just rank, you want to rank for what your ideal client is searching for. And we call that a keyword. We help our clients with their SEO because the biggest thing I've noticed is they'll get tripped up on the keywords, on the search terms, because we want to talk in our professional jargon, but that is not how your ideal client is looking for you. They don't know those terms yet, right? So you need to get into the brain of your ideal client. How are they looking for the solution you provide? What are they calling it? Not like the professional terminology. What are they searching? Like literally, if your ideal client is looking for what you offer, what would they type into Google? You want to figure out what those keywords are and start infusing them into your website, throughout your blog posts, all of that. SEO has been a really big part of bringing clients to me. All of these strategies have worked together to help me get clients. I have more information on SEO and doing that for your website on my YouTube channel, so check that out. The ninth place I would highly recommend getting new clients, looking to get new clients, is through client referrals. I mentioned this in the last one, but one of the best ways to get a new client is to have someone else talk about you. It's this social proof, word of mouth. There's no investment into advertising and marketing that you can make that can match word of mouth marketing. Having an ideal client's best friend or sister or mom be like, hey, I used this person, they were amazing, you need to hire them. There's just nothing you can do marketing wise that has that sort of impact, because we know, like, this is how we shop. If our best friend is like, hey, I had this amazing coach, you need to hire her, I would be like, give me her number right now. If there's like a restaurant that my best friend went to and was like, it was amazing, you guys have to check it out, your next date night, you know, on next date night, I will be there, right? Because my best friend knows me so well and I trust her. I trust my best friend or whomever, like whoever is in my life telling me this. I trust my people a lot more than a stranger on the internet, which is what you are to your ideal client until they meet you. Just highly incentivize having your clients refer people to you. You can have a referral program. I've done that before. I actually don't do it anymore. I don't really need to. My approach to this, and this is like from my luxury branding background, I love to just create such an amazing, magical experience for my clients that they can't help but talk about it. Instead of investing money or like gifts, you know, paying them or giving them gifts to refer someone to me, I just spoil the heck out of my own clients so that they want to talk about it. I give them excuses to talk about working with me. So that's worked really well for me. And it gets them talking about me and their experience working with me, which is amazing. And the very last place, number 10, that I would recommend looking for new clients is in your everyday life. I'm a graphic designer, like that's how I started. I love design for your brand. When I first started working with female entrepreneurs, every package had business card design. And now a lot of people don't choose to add on business card design. They're like, oh, nobody uses business cards anymore. And my response to that is the exact reason you should have business cards. Nobody has a wallet full of business cards anymore. If you have a gorgeous, beautifully designed business card. No, I'm not talking about something super cheap that you get 500 of for $10, right? No, I get the nicest business cards I can. They cost like $1 a piece. Like, I don't give them out to everyone, but every time I hand somebody a business card, they're like, ooh, this is so luxurious. Like, they love the feel of it. It's got texture on it. Literally, I handed somebody one last night and she's like, this is so luxurious. And I was like, it's what I do. I highly recommend getting business cards that you are in love with and having them on you all the time. You never know when you're going to bump into your next client. You could just be having a conversation with the lady that's behind you at Starbucks, right? And she could be talking about stuff that's going on in her life. And you'd be like, hey, I'm a life coach. I can help you with that. Like, have your business card on you, okay? Go out, live your life, meet new clients, and don't be afraid to share what you do.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Super Bloom Coach, the podcast for life coaches ready to 10x their business. If you enjoyed today's episode, I know you'll love my free course, 5-Figure Clients, the secret to attracting high-ticket coaching clients. Inside, I'll show you how I went from attracting bargain hunter clients to exclusively booking clients at a 5-figure price point. If you're ready to start working with clients who understand the tremendous value you bring to the table and to stop working with clients who don't, then this course is for you. Over 4 days, you'll learn why offering a high-ticket service is better for you and your client, how to craft your irresistible high-ticket offer that practically sells itself, and the 2 things you need to convey in order to sell high-ticket services. Also, how to position yourself as a luxury brand leader so you can charge a premium for your top-notch services. Sign up now at mariahriona.com/free-course and start attracting those high-ticket clients today. Don't miss out on this valuable opportunity to elevate your coaching business. Get instant access to your first lesson. And before you go, make sure to subscribe to Super Bloom Coach so you never miss an episode. We've got some incredible content lined up to help you 10x your coaching business and achieve your dreams. If you found value in today's episode, can you do me a quick favor and leave a review? Your feedback helps me reach more coaches like you who are ready to elevate their business. Thanks so much for listening. I'll see you next time.